Receiving Schools, here is a reference for today's lesson. Your strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and your reference.
Okay, good morning, 8Cs, Receiving School students and teachers.
Good morning, Miss Irma.
Thank you. You may sit down. All right. All right, 8Cs and receiving students. A homework, right? I gave you a homework, receiving students. And I mentioned that I would collect your exercise books, all right, to correct your homework, all right? So receiving teachers, please, can you collect at the end of the lesson, collect your students' exercise books so that you can go through the homework. All right, class and receiving students. All right, let's just go through our previous lesson, democracy. What is democracy, class? Receiving students, what is democracy? All right, Raymond, please.
Democracy is a country with a government that has been elected freely and equally by all its citizens.
All right, you agree with Raymond? Okay, democracy is a country, all right, with a government that has been elected freely and equally by all its citizens. Now, don't forget our country, okay? Our country is a democratic country, has a democratic government. We chose our leaders, all right? We elected, going through the election process. Freedom of elections. Now, what are some of the features of democracy? Receiving students, what are some of the features of democracy? Some of the things that shows that a country is a democratic country. Okay, number one, Rachel.
Free elections.
All right, good. Free elections. Free elections. Can somebody elaborate further on that? Free elections. Receiving students, could you elaborate further on free elections? Stephen?
People will vote freely.
All right, yes. Voting freely, okay, good. Freedom of, or choosing, choice, okay? That's just the same, right? Election, freely electing which members, okay, that you would like to be, or to represent you in parliament. Okay, good. What's the other feature of democracy? Another feature of democracy, please. Michael?
Political parties.
All right, political parties. Okay, good. What about political parties? Yeah? Okay, let's have Rose to help Michael. Priscilla.
Freedom to join more than one political party.
Okay, or having more than one political party, right? Remember, political party is a group of people who, right, express or who have similar ideas or opinions or views about how a country should be run. All right, and another feature, class. All right, majority rule and minority rights, right? A decision or policy, okay, is being discussed, okay, or made when there's a majority of voters, okay, and then it may come into effect, or it may take effect. All right. So those are some of those features of democracy. All right, we're moving on to our topic for today's lesson. Right, it's still part of democracy, a democratic government. Okay, how does a democratic government work? All right, receiving students. Sorry. What did you say? Exercise. I said I was going to collect your exercise books. Okay. All right, class, can we have everyone to look up here, receiving students and 8Cs? All right. Can we have class, please, can you read what it says up here? Okay, I'll just explain this, okay? In your groups, all right, you are going to perform, or let's say participate in a type of a democratic process. Remember, like in a democratic process or democratic government, okay, these are some of the features, right? You have the freedom of voting, freedom of election, okay, majority rule, minority rights. So in your groups, okay, you're going to choose any of these, okay? You can maybe you can come up with extra, okay? Like electing a class captain, okay? You pretend that you're going to elect a class. How are you going to carry out that process, okay? Or electing a school captain, or maybe having a class meeting, okay? Or having a sports meeting, or having a social club meeting, any of that sort, okay? So in your groups, you're going to decide on one of these, okay? Decide on one of these points, and you're going to participate in that, all right? So I'd like you all to close your exercise books, class, everyone, receiving students, and close all your exercise books, stop writing or whatever that you're doing, and you're going to start doing that now, okay? So please, in your groups, can you decide on what to do now? So you are participating in a real-life democratic process, all right? So if you want to pretend that you're going to elect a new class captain, or what? A school captain, okay? Or have a meeting, all right? Maybe sports meeting or class meeting, or any of that sort. Okay, class 8Cs, do you understand what to do? Yes. So in your groups, all right? So that doesn't mean that we sit down and we stay into space and we wait and wait. No, okay? All right, time is running, please. Can we have you all to start now? Okay, you decide on what to do. Okay? Elect a class captain. Electing a class captain. How do you go about electing a class captain? You just say, this man, okay? He becomes the class captain. No, you follow a process. There is a procedure that you follow, all right? Okay, don't forget there is a procedure that you follow when you are doing these things. All right? You don't just say, okay, you be that class captain. No, there is a procedure that you follow. What do you do? Okay. Or having a meeting. All right? How do you go about having a meeting? Do you just say, okay, come now, we'll have a meeting, and what happens? Okay, somebody will be the what? Somebody will be the secretary, somebody will be the chairperson, okay? Someone will be the chairperson. Chairperson is going to chair the what? Meeting. Secretary writes down all the notes, the minutes, okay? And the others, they take part in the decision making. Please, hey, if you're not sure, please put your hands up, please. Chairperson, sort of, he chairs the meeting, or he's in charge of the meeting. He makes sure that the meeting, okay, meeting is, what will I say? That the meeting is going on, okay? Or he makes sure that everybody knows what to say during the meeting. Oh, okay. Don't forget the procedures that you follow. When having a meeting, what are the procedures? Like, somebody becomes the secretary, somebody becomes the chairperson. Chairperson, he chairs the meeting. So, okay, this afternoon we are going to have a meeting, all right? Secretary, takes down the minutes, And the others, they take part in decision making, they bring up agendas or ideas to talk about, to discuss in the meeting. Okay, yes. Are you thinking of going up to the front?
No, we don't. No.
No, okay. No, it's in your group. It's supposed to be in your group, yeah. So it's sort of, you are participating in a democratic process, meaning you have the freedom of voting. So it's sort of like a real life. All right, so that's why you're going through this activity. Okay, yeah? What are you deciding on? You're trying to have a meeting? No, you choose one, okay? Choose one activity, one process. Okay, you'll vote for that school captain. You're voting for that school. They are nominees, Okay, you go through the process of how to vote. Okay, firstly, what happens? You nominate, Okay, you nominate, and then if they decline, you nominate another one, okay? Nominees. And then, what happens? You vote for those nominees. Okay, those are some, or if not, you can take part in club meetings, how to go about in a meeting. Like there's a chairperson, there's a secretary. Chairperson is the one who sort of like he organizes the meeting, or he makes sure that everybody in the meeting discusses things. Secretary takes down the minutes or records the minutes, okay? And the others, they discuss the ideas or points. All right. Okay, yeah? number? Okay. Like you have what will I say? The other members, who's the secretary here? The chairperson, no, somebody will have to be the secretary. Okay? All right, and you others, you come up with your points to discuss, your agendas, your points or agendas. So like Stephen, you think of one point to do with sports, your meeting. What?
Every time I used to play volleyball and rugby all the time, now we need some changes in sports like play basketball and all.
That's okay, use it. So that, yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Just talk, Eileen. Eileen. Doesn't matter. Okay. If whatever happens, can we have you to come up?
Yes.
Okay. We'll have this group here. Okay. All right. No, we'll have only you, your group. So you're not. Eileen, listen. Okay, you're just gonna go up and just practice what you're saying now. Okay, just practice what you're saying now. So you just have your point, just short points. That's all. Doesn't mean you'll really explain properly and no. Okay, so like secretary, you'll be the one. Oh wait, let me think. Or if not, forget it. Okay, we'll have the. That's okay. You can discuss here.
No. Okay. Let's start. Put on the mic in a second.
Yeah, okay, you'll have to use the mic, Jefferson. Or you introduce, can you start again? Like the chair, yeah, introduce, okay, welcome everyone, meeting.
Today we are going to have a meeting based on our sports equipments and what kind of sports we are going to play.
Okay.
Every time we used to play rugby and volleyball, now we need some changes between the game.
Okay. So, okay. So, what was your point again?
Every time we used to play,
We need to step up.
now we need some changes.
Okay. So, what are you gonna say now? Can we play, or you come up with a suggestion, or?
Basketball. We need to play new games like basketball, soccer, and many others.
Okay. And you others, do you agree, or what? Any other points? Come on to say. This is a meeting. You are discussing. Okay, Chairperson.
Equipment.
Sponsors, we need to ask some people to sponsor us with some equipment.
Then that's one of your agendas or your points.
We also need to look for a sponsor to give us some sports equipment for our new games.
Okay, HCs and receiving students.
Brian Belen and has agreed to sponsor us basketball balls and all the sports equipment.
All right, so you've taken part, listen, you've taken part in a democratic process, real life democratic process. Example, electing a class captain, electing a school captain. You others listening? Having a school meeting or class meeting. Okay, can we have everyone to look up here to the front, please? Stop whatever that you're doing. Thank you, HCs and receiving students, for participating. All right, look up here to the front. Okay. So we've just looked at democracy, all right? Democracy, freedom, all right? Freedom of election, all right? So if you're electing someone, whatever that you went through, okay, you chose freely, all right? There were nominees, okay? And there was, you chose freely and equally among your nominees or your members. Okay, even having a meeting, when discussing, you were having a meeting, there were views, okay, that were suggested, okay, opinions. So in a democratic type of meeting, or you have the freedom to talk, all right? Your views, different views are expressed, okay? All right, can we just go through our activity, please? Okay, I'm going to give you a set of words, HCs and receiving students. Define these in your own words, okay? These words here are all to do with democracy, okay? So instead of the teacher giving you the definition and you copying it down into your exercise book, this time we'll have you to define them in your own words, okay? So receiving students, you're going to define these words, okay? All right, so you can go through these words here, or these concepts. Rights, okay? In your own words, what do you think rights are, okay? Responsibilities. In your own words, what do you think responsibilities are, okay? So all these words, you just copy down these words first. Rights, responsibilities. You have any idea about United Nations? Okay. And you can even discuss your answers with your friends. All right. Here it is, if you haven't copied there. Okay. Law. Okay. So you go to these words one at a time, and you just beside each word you explain, okay, what define in your own words. All right, receiving students. So these are concepts or terms when dealing, okay, looking at the democratic process. We have, you find these terms or these major concepts, terms or concepts. All right. Okay, have you finished copying down the words? Yes. Okay. You go ahead and you define them. You can talk with your friend and discuss those answers. Discuss the meanings. Rights. Okay. Or you can even put it in a sentence, okay? If you cannot define the word, you can put it in a sentence form. All right? Receiving students. If you find that you cannot define these words here, you can put it in a sentence. Rights, responsibilities, United Nations, protection, laws, rules, law enforcement, citizens. Okay, who's finished with number 1? The first word. Okay, there are 2, 3 already finished. Right, receiving students. Anyone number 2? If you, okay, again, if you cannot explain you cannot find the definition, you write, put the word in a sentence. All right. That's how you can understand that word. All right, how many of you have finished? Okay, not yet. Okay. Okay, 8Cs, receiving students. Some of you haven't, or looks like you haven't finished yet. All right. Okay, if you haven't finished, can you do that for homework, please? Okay. 8Cs. Receiving students, if you haven't finished, you can complete it for homework. Okay. All right, 8Cs and receiving students will stop here. These words here again, looking at these words, these are major concepts in a democratic process. All right? Now you just took part in some activities when looking at the democratic process. You election, you have freedom of talking. All right? When having a meeting. All right, we'll stop here and please get these words down for your homework, and we should correct these words. later on. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson. 8Cs and receiving students. Receiving teachers. Our keyword for today is democratic. Thank you, 8Cs, receiving students and teachers, for listening.
Teachers, here is your reference for the next lesson. Your strand, substrand, outcome, the topic, materials, and your reference.